We're 100% watching a cartel video. What the fuck? Well, Father, I hope everything's okay.
Firearms across the border. Make money for myself and that other people make money from it. Today I'm going to discuss how guns are brought from the United States into Mexico.
Oh shit! We're learning how guns are brought into the United States from Mexico!
Yeah, probably the most dangerous you can have. It's literally just storing it away and sending it about its way. So I'm almost in jail. I need to put food on the plate. I ended up paying it.
So you couldn't work at Target or...
So everybody ate at the end of the day.
2009-10 was like our wild, wild west days out here where we were in chases every day.
And what are the odds someone has eyes on us right now?
Oh, pretty good, dude, because these are all Scout Hills.
At what age would you say you officially joined
Oh shit,
an organization?
the Scout Hills.
We spoke with a cartel member last night that alleged that one of the ways it gets through is paying off Border Patrol, paying off police.
Dude.
Yeah, I would not disagree with that.
What is the cost?
Dude, cause imagine you're just a random ass fucking Border Patrol agent. You get paid a measly ass like 50K, 60K a year type shit. And then they just walk up to you and they're like, yo, 200 grand, you let these fucking things go through. It's like, what, bro? You fucking kidding me? Man, let that shit slide through. But the moment you're involved, you're fucked. You're cooked.
Cost to buy a Border Patrol agent. In a good month?
Wait, what?
The cost to buy a Border Patrol agent.
So that's 10 grand a week. Chat. 10 grand a week. Wait, we're gonna be accurate. 9,500 a week. 52 weeks. They're paying these motherfuckers 500K a year. They're paying these fuckers $500,000 a year. You think they're not going to turn over these motherfuckers and allow them to just be like, yeah, man, slide off? They paying them $500K a year? They don't even have to do their fucking job. What?
In a good month, how many guns can you get across
10K? Bro, what?
the border?
I want to say close with that. Using fair use.
Oh, shit.
The power Mexican cartels have accumulated is hard to fathom. With Jalisco New Generation Cartel and the Sinaloa Cartel leading the charge, these paramilitary crime syndicates have global reach. They are heavily armed, deeply connected, and absolutely ruthless, specializing in drug trafficking, human smuggling, extortion, and more.
Yes, this is absolutely all completely fucked up. Human trafficking, bad. Drug smuggling, bad. Gun smuggling, also bad. Cartel, no, muy bad.
These organizations pull in
Muy
billions of
illegal.
dollars every year, and the United States plays a part in this because the ugly truth behind some of their power is American guns. Now, as Americans, we get mad about the fentanyl flooding across our
Fentanyl
borders, but
flooding.
what about our guns that are flooding into Mexico? In this episode, we expose the pipeline.
It goes the other way?
Operators to U.S. gun smugglers
Oh,
running
shit.
thousands of firearms across the border to the law enforcement agents fighting to stem the flow. These folks are the players in this deadly.
It goes the other way around? We smuggle
And
shit
would
in
you
there?
believe that some of our own three-letter agencies might be
Oh,
involved?
God.
This is the story of how American guns end up in the hands of Mexican cartels.
And dude, of course the fucking CIA is involved, bruh. The Central Israel Agency. I mean, the Central Intelligence Agency or Association, whatever the fuck it's called. Gun/drug trafficker. Is there a /human in that one too? Or are they ethical about this guy? They're like, we vetted this guy. He in traffic, no fucking kids. We can interview him.
Is it true that different people in the game are on the run right now?
Oh yeah, most of the people I know.
Gabacho.
Either their people either got hit by, one of the three people that were going out there raiding people, or just had some shit happen, or some people didn't know how to do it.
Oh shit.
On the run. So Mexico is just the go-to right now. States are too hot. State troopers and Border Patrol up in Phoenix.
Border Patrol up in Phoenix, Arizona.
If you did a bad business transaction that someone would come looking for you?
I don't fear for my life at all in this situation, just because throughout this whole business, I've been clean business. You know, I see myself as way of just normal, you know, civilian that's out here just trying to
Just,
get money.
bro,
So,
just a dude trying to bake some bread.
where the gun is, who's the one that's either gonna get it.
Like he just looks at it as if he's selling like fucking like cans of Coke or like Coca-Cola or like Pepsi or some shit. Like he's just selling fucking
I go by
random
that
stuff.
person at a price where I can make a profit for myself. Or I send someone into a store to go get something from me, and I have my people that I sell it to at a pretty good markup. They send it to one of their kind of workers, drivers, and just get taken down to Mexico in like units.
Oh shit.
Across the border.
Like he's just chilling, bro. Like he just a little fucking a Schedule 1 manager, bro. He just sends out things. He's an honest businessman. Yeah.
Would you say you have a dangerous
Ooh.
job?
Yeah, probably the most dangerous you can have. 'Cause
Well, yeah.
You're not just dealing with, you know, legal issues, you're also dealing with territorial issues.
For those not familiar, the Sinaloa cartel is one of Mexico's most feared and notorious drug cartels. It was led for years by El Chapo Guzman, a ruthless kingpin famous for running a global crime empire and escaping a Mexican prison in 2015.
Oh shit, that's crazy. Dude, him escaping through a tunnel is fucking crazy.
States, where he's now being held in ADX Florence, America's most secure prison.
He's
locked
still
up
in-
alongside
holy
people like
shit.
infamous gang leader Larry Hoover and the Boston Marathon bomber. And with El Chapo behind bars,
Holy
Sinaloa
shit, he's in
has never
fucking
looked more
Arkham
secure.
Asylum.
But make no mistake that from Chicago to California, Omaha to Phoenix, the Sinaloa reach is still quite powerful.
Oh shit. Free Larry Hoover. I don't know who that is. I don't know actually anything about him. I have no idea who that person is. I hear his name a lot.
Pinal County, he's had a lot of experience in the field. We're going to be interviewing him as well. You have the wildest collection of patches that I think I've ever seen. If we interviewed a cartel member last night, what are the odds that he would be Sinaloa given the control they have in the area?
If he's not Sinaloa, then he's risking his life.
What's your process to do it?
It's literally
He's just telling the fucking border patrol agent, yo, by the way, I interviewed a cartel member.
Or do you have other people do that?
no, you know.
Well, he's a journalist. He's allowed to do that. That's a protected right.
You know, your typical mini-me, something like that.
Law enforcement literally can't force him to say shit.
The truck, I can get it for $5.
Do you work for one primary cartel?
The
or
founder
do
of
you
the Gangster
freelance amongst them?
Disciples
Just walk.
out of Chicago. Is
there
that a
any
gang?
difference in how difficult it is to do business from the
gonna
Biden
assume that's a
administration or
gang.
Trump administration?
There might be a couple hiccups, but it's
Never
it's all
heard of them.
business, It's all the same. Honestly, it's crazy. I
Who?
can't imagine the border right now. People are scared to go.
No,
Talk to
okay.
one another before. The risk and like the terror.
Gang in Chicago?
Because like some of these
Sweet.
shit is like they'll load your car up with like.
But like, why is he so?
Like imagine trying to drive across the border.
Like, why is he in Arkham Asylum? Why is he in that maximum security ass Alcatraz?
Get into America, you know what I mean?
Was it actually that easy with Biden as president?
I felt like there was a lot more things coming in.
Is it noticeably more difficult now that Trump is in office?
Oh
Under
shit.
the Biden administration, it was a free flow of everything. The people have stopped coming across so much. I mean, we're way down. I think we were at about 7,000 to 12,000 a week, and we're at like 300 to 700 a week now.
Oh shit.
Would you say you officially joined? an
That's
organization?
crazy.
So I was about 10, 11 years old. Yes, sir.
Bro, I'm sitting in a car. I'm sitting talking to you, bro. Yes, look what you're wearing. I'm paranoid as fuck, dog. What the fuck? You got a gun right next to me to my left. I hear 3 knocks about. I don't know what the fuck going on. What? I'm terrified.
There was a study done by the U.S. government from the Government Accountability Office that found that 70% of firearms found in Mexico traced their roots to America. So that
Holy fuck, 70% of... What the fuck? Okay. Why is my volume meter fucking with me? I know why. I gotta stop fucking with it right there. I gotta just...
surprised you.
That was probably lowballing it.
Yeah, it might
Dude,
even be-
70% of America, of guns found in Mexico come from America? That's crazy.
everything, I feel like it would be a larger number.
Closer to 80-90% maybe?
Yeah, probably closer to 80.
How much power do the cartels have in places like this in Arizona?
On the American side, they are very smart businessmen, right? They don't, they're getting a little more overt about their stuff, but you just don't have a lot of in your face like you do in Mexico, right? We don't have rolling gun battles here. Sinaloa holds pretty good control of our state.
Where like there's not just like random people. Or do they hit on William Young? Who's William Young?
Actually part of a cartel, or is that
Oh,
only
he
people
sent
in
out
Mexico?
hits. He was sending us 150, 20. Damn, bro!
We'll just put it that way.
Now, according to
Wait, what'd he say?
It's going to stretch all over the world.
that are officially part.
Not giving it up, and they've been here a lot of years.
Are there people in America that are officially part of a cartel, or is that only if you live in Mexico?
It's going to stretch all over the world.
Oh shit.
We'll just put it that way.
It's gonna
Now,
stretch all
according to
over the
Arizona
world.
law, these gun smugglers could face up to 10 years in prison if caught for the crime. But what's interesting to me is the same U.S. government that will hammer these guys for selling guns also like to sell a lot of guns overseas themselves.
Bro.
This has happened a lot of times in recent history.
Like literally, why the fuck are we selling guns to other
So
bro?
let's just highlight a couple of
Cause
recent
business.
examples. Take the Soviet-Afghani conflict in the 1980s. The CIA funneled tens of thousands of guns to the Afghan fighters, the Mujahideen, to win the battle against the dreaded Soviets, our enemy at the time. Fast forward a few years later, the same Mujahideen fighters that we armed with the guns that we gave him, some of these guys later turned into the Taliban. which
Bro,
is really good for the
like we
military
literally
industrial
armed
complex,
the
but
fucking Taliban.
fueled another 20
Another
years
war,
of
bro.
and profit. And most recently, for the United States politicians and arms manufacturers, we have sent billions to Ukraine and Israel, which some could say the U.S. taxpayer is indirectly responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of people, including women and children.
Bro, oh, this is giving me a fucking headache to hear about because this is so fucking annoying to deal
A
with.
decade behind bars for moving a few rifles across the border. The corporations and politicians who benefit from this arms dealing will walk free. Because when the violence is industrialized, no longer a crime,
Like
it's
literally,
just
bro.
business.
Like
Is there any
when big
misrepresentation
corporation gets to do it, it doesn't give a fuck. No, like nobody gives a fuck. Like, bro, when a pharmaceutical company gets to prescribe opioids to fucking people and get them high as shit and addicted as fuck and ruin their fucking lives, that's fine. That's legal. But if you go sell za on the street to get a fucking 18-year-old high as shit and have a good time, you go to like get the fuck out of here, bro.
Cartels, like basically that they're
Literally.
horrifying terrorist organizations. That
It's not how they picture it though. It's so media, it's so brainwashed, and they say, oh, the cartel, it so runs this whole area, and if you go there, they're gonna kill you, and this and that. Yeah, the cartel might run a specific area, but as long as you get there and you're not causing no trouble, or you're not there to steal from nobody, or just sell anything, you know what I mean? If you're just there on good terms and like checking in, everything be good.
Do you think that's a fair picture American media makes?
Bro, I don't know. I feel like
Take care of all
I feel like I see some wild ass cartel videos where they just be checking up people for no reason.
People, you know? The government ain't helping. We see cartels sending, you know, side bombers or people in the United States go do mass shootings and get their agenda across or anything. You know, most of the things that cartels do, unless it's someone in America that was working with them and fucked them over somehow, that's when they'll go after you as a person in America.
What do you think about Trump potentially
shit.
labeling cartels as terrorist organizations?
That he should start here with the people on their side.
What do you think would happen if Trump tried invading Mexico or drone striking cartel operations?
It's not gonna be good.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie, bro. U.S. military versus the cartel, they're fucking cooked, bro. I'm so sorry, dog. Like it's not gonna be good for you, bro. Like
Administration is
sorry.
considering using drone strikes against the Mexican cartel.
Like,
But
dog,
how do we
if
know
you
these
get-
stories are biased, how they're being framed
Ooh.
politically, if we're getting the right scoop on what we're being told. This is where the sponsor
Ground
video comes in.
news? Oh,
Ground news.
shit.
What they do is they pull thousands of stories across the internet and
Word,
compile
word.
them, and they rate the
Uh-huh.
reliability of the story based off the political bias of the source, which is very helpful because they give us an indication of the reliability of the stories that we're hearing. Just take these stories about drone strikes. Most of the outlets covering this are center or lean right. And Ground News lets you compare these headlines side by side. Take this left-leaning source that says drone strikes will lead to another Vietnam, and take this right-wing source that gives the counterpoint that cartels are using drones to spy on U.S. troops. One of my
Interesting.
favorite parts about Ground News is their blind spot feed. What it does is it shows me stories
stories that I might not receive based off the biases I might have or how my algorithm is structured, and it shows me more of a full and complete picture of what is happening in the world. Ground News helps me see through the noise, see through the bias, and help me be better informed.
Word,
If you
another W
subscribe
ad
using my
from
link or
Ground
QR code,
News.
you get 40% off their Vantage plan, which is their most robust plan on the site. Go to
Ground News sponsor me.
ground.news/TommyG to get a better handle
That's
on the
already
news
2
you're
ads.
receiving.
That's already
Site.
2
Go
ads.
to ground.
Oh.
Very much like the Italian mafia. They are very family oriented. I can tell you from the Mexican side of my family. We have family gatherings all the time. We have carne asadas. We
Carne
get together,
asada.
play loteria, you know, all this kind
Play
of stuff. The
loteria.
difference being when they go to work, it could be to go skin somebody alive that's their enemy,
shit.
you know. This road in particular is a major smuggling route, and I've had a lot of chases on this route.
And what road are we on right now?
We're on Stanfield Road. These mountaintops will have scouts on them. So all
Dude,
of
like imagine just knowing that there's a fucking cartel just lined up all on these mountains, just fucking looking at you like, dude, that's crazy.
these valleys out here can have routes where they are pushing people and product up, and they use those routes. The scouts guide the loads. When they get up here to kind of the civilization, that's when they'll hit these regular routes, blacktop routes, on the freeway, shoot up into Phoenix, because Phoenix becomes the hub.
Dude, with snipers.
Someone has eyes on us right now.
Oh, pretty good, dude, because these are all scout deals.
Pretty good, dude.
Why is torture used so often amongst the cartels?
Pain is the best teacher.
All right, Payne.
So you're a runner, go to a gun store, get it. Let's say it's me. If I get flagged, okay, that's a mission that went astray. If not, how often would you send a guy like me to get it again and again and again?
I mean, I've had people that, you know, you wouldn't believe the number of stuff they cut out under their name. It's really kind of strategic in a way, because the way the background checks work is it will show up as, you know, either a pistol or a rifle. It doesn't go into the system as that specific firearm unless the ATF is flagged and involved. You could have someone go store to store, get 5 guns in their name, just one day, clean record, all that stuff.
For you have someone in your family that has
Oh,
died
shit.
from gun violence in Mexico.
Yeah,
Do you blame
5 guns in the
guys
same
in
day.
America selling the guns?
I don't. I just blame the shooter, really.
How
Dude,
do
literally,
feel
you
about being
can't-
involved in a business that arms the cartel.
It sounds worse than it is in a way. I mean, you think about it is, what
I-
I'm doing is basically
He's
marketing
literally just a business.
without their good will.
It's a sinful business. It's a business of murder. You are selling murder weapons to people that are going to use it for not the right purposes or reasons, right? But when you grow up in a piece of shit country or in a piece of shit town, and that's all you're surrounded with, and you see how the rich people, and you realize, oh shit, like what I get in trouble for, what we get in trouble for, they just do it on a large level. I'm gonna do it too, and that's fuck them, bro, and fuck everybody at the end of the day.
So gun
It's
smugglers
really
will
how like they are going about it.
Prison time for a few $1,000s of profit a month. But what about the big players in what some would call the military-industrial complex? Let's just look at the Russia-Ukraine war, for example. Lockheed Martin's stock hit an all-time high. Raytheon's production lines are going off the charts. Billions of dollars in weapons
Oh my
are
God,
flowing
that would,
across
like-
the Ukraine border and across the European nations that are gearing up, looking to refill their arsenal in what has proven to be one of the biggest spending sprees in defense since the Cold War. Now this is where the gray area comes in. Is this right? Is this wrong? Because whether you look at Ukraine, Israel, Afghanistan, one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. I don't know the answer to all this, but what I do know as a tax-paying citizen is what I've gotten out of the deal are dead soldiers, civilians, destruction,
Dude,
a
literally-
bad reputation.
Every single thing that most people don't fucking want are the things he just listed. I'm just trying to get my taxes to fix the roads, fix the schools, fix the healthcare system. Let's start off with that. What to fix the fucking homeless problem, bro?
Globally,
Why the
while these
fuck
companies
are
in
we
the
s-
military-industrial
Bro.
complex have reaped the profits
'Cause
in the billions.
Because there's no money involved in that, bro.
Well, I
There,
don't
there
think
is
that-
no money. There, people cannot control a society if everybody's living a good life. If there's a good social community, if everybody's living comfortable and happy, there's no
Manufacturers
control.
make
Like
the
if you don't have to
guns
worry
to
about money
give
or
the bad
capitalism,
guys
then there is no way to
who,
control
like,
people.
pillage and carnage.
There's
in
no
our
way for
country,
somebody
but
to
I don't
get
think
profit.
that's
Somebody
good way
wants to
look at
have
it.
everything,
What made
bro.
you choose this job over anything else you can?
Somebody wants to be greedy and have it all. So therefore, to have it all, you have to take from others.
The money's there. I got lucky with, finding some people. Honestly, I think this is a lot morally acceptable than drugs, safer than drugs, less corrupt, less dangerous, So I'm almost in jail, I need to put food on the plate, and then once people started offering me guns for a ton of, and tremendously, no product, when we damn near getting a gun for free, that's when you would change
Dude, it's like, alright, bro, like, I gotta do it.
Some kid who went and robbed the car and found a gun in the car, and he was scared to hang it at home. So he came to me and he said he didn't want that. He'd rather have a little bit of weed.
How much weed do you think you gave him?
Probably like 7 grams.
Bro gave him a quarter
Yeah,
for a
so,
fucking gun.
I ended up selling it to somebody who ended up taking it to California and making money off of it. So everybody ate at the end of the day.
2009-10 was like our wild.
Yeah,
wild
man,
west
you
days
gave
out
that
here
kid
where
a
we were
quarter of weed and you
chases
sold the
every
gun
day.
to somebody in
Known
California who's
vehicles,
probably gonna
stolen
use it
vehicles
for
going south, so
an
they would
illegal
go to Phoenix.
purpose.
They could have a stolen
Everybody
vehicle
ate,
out of
though.
West Phoenix down here.
Everybody
within
ate,
about
though.
40 minutes. And so they would run stolen south. They would cross them over because there's parts of the border just south of us. that are just
Like
barbed wire fence
like
this.
as
So
fucked
they
up as
would,
the system is, I personally just wouldn't
cut that
resort
shit,
to
drive across and
something
drive the
like that.
stolen
But
into
again,
Mexico,
I
load it
grew
with
up
dope, and then drive it back
in America. I
northbound
grew up
under
privileged.
the dark of night.
more
And so we
privileged
would
than
be out
most.
here in night chases with them.
I feel.
Going after blacked out vehicles, chasing them through the desert, trying to get them before they got to I-8. The scouts would all coordinate their movement.
Because
So
I
we
didn't
would
have to
have
deal with
counter-scout
I didn't have to deal with robbing a car at the age of 7 and finding a gun and selling it for weed. Like I did not have to deal with that shit. So
operations where us and Border Patrol would work together.
I don't know a lot of people around me who lived here that had to deal with
to
that
try and
shit.
take the scouts off the hills when
But
we
that's like
reloaded the
common
plane so that they
things
were flying
in
blind,
in
essentially.
other
And
countries.
then under the last presidential administration, it was so wide open that they didn't need any of that stuff. Nobody was stopping them. So, and there were so many of them that there was just a flood of people coming through, a flood of dope coming through. Border Patrol was tasked out in all these other areas.
Dude, having the borders be completely open like that and not properly vetting people in is something that is not a good thing for like a country. That's not a good thing. I feel like people should be properly vetted before coming in. I feel like people should get the opportunity to come into the country, of course, but you just gotta go through like a proper background check, dog. But like, it gotta be, dude. Like, they can't have people waiting months and months and months for these fucking things to happen, though. Like, that's the problem. It's because they put so many roadblocks to getting into the country legally that people just, well, I'm gonna come in here illegally then because you're making it so fucking difficult that my life is so fucked. I don't have the time to fucking wait for that shit, bro. But like other people, like the people that are making these policies and laws, they have the time. Like, they don't have to worry. They don't have a rushing thing. They don't have a pressing matter to worry about other than to just, bro, we're gonna put as many delays and roadblocks to get somebody here legally and safely. So then people would rather just come in here illegally than deal with
Like
that shit.
monopoly
And
for
that's
us,
what we
man.
have
I
that
mean,
issue.
you're up
Make the
against,
system
tens
better.
of thousands of people.
Make the
And it's
system better,
really not
and
even
you
our
won't have
job, right?
people
The
avoiding
immigration
the
piece is
system.
not the sheriff's job, but we were stuck with a lot of this stuff. Our military was essentially teaching other countries how to defend their country, right? And
Guys, we got to cover some more cartel history because American guns are not the only thing that the United States has contributed towards the rise and dominance of Mexican cartels. Let's take you back to the mid-90s to Fort Benning, Georgia at the School of Americas, where for decades and still today, this was a place where Latin American military forces were brought to practice skills in things like urban warfare, interrogation tactics, and psychological warfare. The School of Americas has since been renamed due to many former students committing various coups and human rights violations across Central and South America. Classes here are taught in Spanish and oftentimes led by U.S. Green Berets. One of the groups that was trained here was GAFE, one of Mexico's elite special forces groups whose job it was to raid high-value targets and combat narcotics operations. In the 90s, about 30 of the GAFE guys eventually defected from the Mexican military.
Fantastic.
Gulf
So we
Cartel,
trained the
which they later left to
fucking
create their own
cartel.
and one of the most feared
How
cartels of all
lovely.
time,
Like,
called
why are we so
Now, the
fucking
majority of
involved,
the
bro?
this was not
What the
some
fuck fuck are we doing? Training soldiers in fucking Mexico. What the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck are we doing,
or
bro?
rather an unintended consequence on the part of the United States. However, there are known cases.
And
of
how many unintended consequences are you gonna have, dog? We armed the Taliban. We armed the cartel. We armed we're arming Ukraine, and they're continuously like breaking ceasefires to strike Russia.
forces, guys.
Why are they breaking the ceasefire to strike Russia? You're supposed to be defending yourself, right? Why are you like? There's a ceasefire going on, you bitch ass. Why are we supplying Israel? What the,
How
bro?
some of these cartels came to be.
What's been your biggest?
Like, what the fuck?
I think the best one I had is I made 70K in 4 months.
How did that feel?
Fucking
I
amazing.
never felt that level of accomplishment before in my life.
Have you ever been visited
Bro,
by a
like,
three-letter agency?
you
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Pressuring in a way.
He said
One of
allegedly.
the things you want to do with that is you want to have them talk to you. You know, doing that, I was able to find out in a way what they knew about me.
Oh shit.
You know, where also I reflected where I went wrong, other factors, and how much they knew. You know,
So you kind of stayed silent and let them talk.
yeah.
This is
Oh,
the Obama
shit.
solution here.
So someone could be camping out here and someone's hustling a load.
Yeah, and we've had that happen where
The
there's
Obama
been people out here
solution?
either hunting or
What
just
does that
camping
sign say?
for a week.
What does that sign say?
And we've had
Oh shit. That's interesting. It's like,
So someone could be camping
so, yo
out
guys,
here
by
and
the
someone's
way,
hustling a load.
there may be some
and
shit
we've
going
had
on in
that
this
happen where
specific
there's been
desert.
People out here either hunting or just
Holy
camping
fuck.
for a weekend, and they'll have a stolen vehicle in the middle of a chase, will run right through their campsite and blasting up here to the interstate to get away from the cops. And so this whole
Holy
area is
shit.
again,
Imagine just fucking camping out in a fucking cartel chase just goes through your campsite. Just runs you over while you're fucking sleeping at night.
like the other area, all the high points. You're gonna have
Because you
scouts.
decided to camp out. Well, I guess if you're homeless and you really got nowhere else to be, like, I guess camping on the desert's pretty chill if you can. Or I guess he said people just enjoy doing that. Why the fuck would you camp out in...
There's usually scouts on this hill, and there's scouts a little bit deeper in, and they're watching over the valleys.
I'll be okay. Nah, that shit don't happen, bro. That shit never happen. Bro, well, people get real... Nah, bro, that shit never happened, man. Dog, if there's a sign that says something, bro, I'm not even fucking with it. I'm not even fucking with it. Dude, if there's a sign that says, yo, don't do this shit, I ain't doing it. I ain't fucking... Bro, what? Danger?
Here and try and, I mean, do you see that as a potential chess move that really results badly for the American citizens?
No. If they just look historically at the U.S., they would understand that that's a really stupid statement to make. I think it was Japan that woke up the dragon, right? I don't think they understand what they're saying. Like, that's fine to say, and there's a lot of machismo in that. Like, hey, if you mess with me, I'm gonna, you come after my family, I'll come after your family. That's all fun and good. But when you go to war on the U.S., that's a whole different level of fucking with us that we're not gonna put up with. And I don't think they understand the hate that would come their way if something like that were to happen.
Do you ever have sympathy for some of these guys? that,
U.S.
like, hey, while I don't
military
agree with
v.
what you're doing,
cartel,
get
I think
why
U.S.
you're
and four. Like,
in
I'm not...
your own
Oh,
situation?
yeah, man. I mean, you know, again, having a wife that's Mexican, there's some of her family that are involved in some of this stuff. I don't hate them. You know, it's family, and they're doing what they think they need to do to get by. And again, it's all circumstantial.
Dude,
man.
literally.
What you're facing in your life and how you're dealing with it, I definitely have sympathy for that. I
Like,
don't think it's
people
right
aren't inherently
for them to do
bad
what
for
they're
them
doing
doing a
get
bad
their money
thing,
or to
but
get
they
ahead or
have...
whatever, but I can't
There are
fault
people
them
that
for
just
trying
want
get
to
ahead
have
and
money.
do well for their family.
People, I think, in American media, like, it's almost like these guys are...
And if it's fucking... Dude, if you could get 70 grand in 4 months and feed your whole fucking family in Mexico for the rest of their... Bro, like, what, are you fucking... Why are you not... You're doing it, bro. You're doing it.
like, are these guys just normal people in a way?
If the opportunity is there and you live in these countries, like, you're straight doing it.
Well, guys and gals, in the sense that, you know, just like us standing here, we can sit and have a conversation. Now, in the right circumstances, would one of them kill me if they could? Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't get real personal. They're just trying to do their thing, and so it is what it
It
is.
doesn't get
So you
personal.
had to survive on your own from an early age.
Yeah, well, I have my sisters really, it was really my sisters helping to hold me down. Once I seen like the pressure put on them, it takes a toll on you and me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the youngest of 9. When my mom was locked up and my father passed away, you know what I'm saying? It was really just me and my siblings. And I have my older
Bro.
brothers don't have people, they're in Mexico, you get me? And one of them already died So it's just me and my sisters, and then I have a brother who really be on his own world. So I really had to like either.
So I really had to like.
Once you get into this, like the money is here. This is really what makes you, you know, a little bit as that extra, especially now in this society where the bills take up everything, all the money you make, every job you have, every dollar you make is gonna go to a bill. You get me? At least now right here, I'm able to feed my family, pay my bills, and still, you know, go have some fun.
Dude, like, he's not going out and killing nobody. He's not, like, bro, he's just a dude trying to make some money. He's just in the wrong business. He's in the wrong business with the right money, though.
On off of this, if we were to catch a group right now, they look like hammered dog shit, man. They
Hammered dog shit.
Just beat up because they've been hiking for 4 or 5 days through the mountains. A lot of times they're drinking a concoction of like meth and fentanyl and cocaine.
Meth and
So
what the
they're all
fuck?
wired up, not feeling shit.
That's crazy.
Rattlers and stray bullets will get you every time. So you can see there's
Like, still, though, they're doing something illegal, though. So they get locked up, they go to jail. Like, hey, dog, you did something illegal. Like, I can't even. You gotta pay the fucking
Kind of a depression
consequences.
here.
You gotta
and
face the
kind of
consequences of
bushes
your
and stuff
actions.
Like that. You can see how the grass is kind of beat down, which means there's been people in here, and then you'll start seeing the black
And I do think it should be illegal to smuggle drugs and
bottles.
guns.
That's traditionally smuggler trash. They carry the black bottles with water all the way up from Mexico. There's parts in Mexico where they're buying all this stuff. They're buying the camouflage. They're buying the black bottles. Water. They black them out so that they're not shiny, visible, and so you'll see them kind of scattered throughout here. You should start seeing some of the clothing and stuff. So they've, like, by the time they get to this point, they've already been backpacking for 4 or 5 days up from Mexico. Then
Holy
they get
shit, they
here,
just
and this is kind of
ditched
their final
their-
staging point
their loadout.
where they will kind of hang out and wait for a ride to come get them. And so typically speaking, this is where they kind of discard their clothing, discard any trash that they have.
Literally, just get rid of
and,
your fucking
jump in
inventory.
their ride and go.
Desert.
So they'll get in this little cut here, and you can kind of see from the grass pressed down. They'll just get in here, rest, and wait for their ride to come get them. And I mean, we're 10 yards off of Interstate 8, and so car will pull up, give a signal. They'll jump out of this spot, go load into the car real quick, and then they're off and running.
Holy shit.
One thing they did start doing too is when they know that we are onto them because of the stuff they're leaving behind, they would start collecting it all into a trash bag or whatever, and then they would have one person take it off 100 couple yards away so that it didn't give away their position as much.
Do you have any opinions
That's
on the
crazy.
new Mexican president, Sheinbaum?
Shine bum.
Like, has she changed things at all with how you guys do business?
Money talks.
So it's business as usual in Mexico. Officials are being paid off,
Yeah,
forces are getting paid off, and business keeps going.
That's
How hard is
crazy.
it to bribe a police officer?
here,
Well, yeah, I guess compare America and Mexico.
that's the same.
It's
You
the
can
same.
bribe people here.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
What percent of cops in border towns in Arizona would you say are in some ways paid off?
At least 3/4.
Holy fuck.
Oh yeah.
And how much does it cost to buy a cop?
It just depends. If it's a one-time thing, you know, you throw them a couple grand. And if it's an ongoing thing, you put them on the salary, you give them, you know, 3 or 4 grand a month.
To
There
buy
really
off a
that many
cop?
American cops on payroll. like
That's
that?
crazy.
We spoke with a cartel member last night
Holy
that alleged
fuck.
that one of the ways it gets through is paying off Border Patrol, paying off police.
Yeah, I would not disagree with that. I know from the years that I've worked that we've had compromised Border Patrol agents, we've had compromised officers, so same thing.
Are you one of them?
You know, they make a lucrative offer to somebody who is not making very much money, and people compromise their integrity for that. And
Have you ever had to fire somebody because you caught them doing that?
yep, we worked a case when I was working undercover. We had one of our guys that was involved, and we had to work
Oh,
a case on
shit.
him and ultimately arrested him with the help of the FBI.
That's
Now, I'm going to
crazy.
throw out the number he said, which I think is kind of crazy, but I want your take on it.
All right.
He said, about 60-70% of the Border Patrol and cops.
No, he's full of shit. Not on the U.S. side. the Mexico cops are more easily compromised, and
He
on
said,
that
"Fuck
side
no,
is
no
the
way."
threat of violence.
Dude, but like,
because way back
yeah,
when,
is he full of shit?
we talked to
Like,
the
how you
comp-
gonna say he full of shit?
compromised
Are you one of them?
Mexico police officer, and he told us it was as simple as this. I was trying to be a good local cop. I was just watching traffic and I was stopping speeders, and I got blocked in by 2 vehicles, and a guy gets in the passenger side, and he said, "Hey, you know who I am?" And he said, I knew who he was. He was a local cartel boss, and he said, "Hey, we want you to work for us. All you have to do is not be on this road from these times to these times, right?" And the guy
shit.
said, "No, I'm not. I'm an upstanding citizen. I'm not
Oh,
part of your crew,
shit.
none of that crap." They said, "Okay, here's a picture of your wife and family, and we have eyes on them right now."
What? Here's a picture of your wife and family. Dog. Like, you're fucking cooked. Like, you're fucking cooked, bro.
You basically have 60 seconds to make your choice, whether you're with us or against us. And if you're against us, then your family's going to pay the price, right? And so all I had to do was not watch this road and keep my family alive. And so it wasn't much money at all, dude. You're talking a couple grand, and for that particular time.
Dude, but it ain't even about, like, fucking the money no more. At this point, you're doing it because your family's fucking cooked.
We think that he had done it more than that, but you're talking a couple grand is what he had compromised himself for.
I couldn't believe and didn't quite buy the numbers that many U.S. Border Patrol agents or U.S. cops were bought and paid for by the Mexican cartels. So I called another Sinaloa contact of mine to see if he can.
Why did my video just restart?
3 minutes. And so some Border Patrol would
Sinaloa
work out
contact.
or whatever, and all and point. And so who I am and compromise himself.
Some of them don't even have a choice.
Those numbers tells. So I called
Okay.
another Sinaloa contact of mine to see if he
Please
could add
quiet,
some
you're on the
insight
phone.
on those
Okay, honey.
numbers. Here's what he said.
Would you agree with the stat, 60 to 70% of them?
I would say like 80%. What? They either want drugs or money. Some of them don't even have a choice. If you say no to the amount of money and all that, like food, you don't have a fucking choice. You feel me? We control you. I have a couple of them that go pick up my people and pass them over. You feel me? All you have to do is follow instructions.
What is the cost to buy a Border Patrol agent?
A week, 9,500. But
Oh.
remember, some of them would do a kilo. You know, some of them want some kilos, some of them want some yellow.
Oh, shit.
Some of them want money, some of them
That's
Even after talking
crazy.
to this guy, I still doubt those numbers. I feel like these guys only come in contact with Border Patrol agents that are corrupted, so in their view, all of them are. But I just can't believe that the majority of Border Patrol agents are bought. I just don't think it's true. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
What you make in a day here is what you make in a month over there. My brothers live off $150 a month.
Oh, shit.
USD.
$150
I
fucking
could
dollars.
make that and like eat in one cell, do one gun transaction. You get me? I could make way more than that in one gun transaction and send that over right there.
In a good month?
Dude, like, you're literally taking care of your family proper, like, luxuriously for fucking their
Close to
lifetimes.
1,000 guns.
Close to 1,000.
The cartel guy we spoke to last night claimed
He's just
that in
saying.
a typical month he might be able to get 1,000 guns across the border. Do you think that's credible?
Yeah, that's absolutely credible.
Is it even possible that he's downplaying it?
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
'cause he's
shit.
not wanting to get his bosses in trouble.
So you have a few runners daily going. Is it with Border Patrol too? You can buy off Border Patrol?
All different.
So like you have to, because obviously you don't just stroll up there and ask, like you have to meet him at a bar, do you have to, like how do you initiate this?
They're sent to
Interesting.
train.
What does that mean?
They're sent to the academy.
There's
Tell me
the
about
academy.
The clashes going on
Oh,
right
shit,
now.
there's an academy.
Are things fairly stable or is there a lot of battles happening?
No, right? I mean, there's always going to be, you know, a tug of war between powers. It goes through its dormant times. Right now it's active.
The danger he's speaking of refers to the war currently happening within the Sinaloa cartel. Since El Chapo's imprisonment in 2017, the group has splintered, with 2 main factions now holding power.
Oh,
One is
shit.
led by El Mayo, a co-founder
El
of Sinaloa,
Mayo.
and some say El Chapo's equal. The other is Los Chapitos, led by El Chapo's sons, known for being younger, flashier, and more aggressive. Their turf war has triggered waves of violence,
shit.
including this recent story detailing the deaths of dozens of teens in Mexico. And from what I've heard from sources close to the action, this fighting is not expected to end anytime soon.
What attracted you to this lifestyle?
We got 2 fucking pirate crews fighting each other, basically.
The adrenaline.
The adrenaline.
Is it terrifying working for a cartel?
stressful, not terrified.
So as long as you follow the rules and kind of do honest business, you're kind of in good standing. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you do business as a man.
The one thing I wanted to fact check on to see if you had a perspective on this, Trump's claim that the majority of people coming over are murderers and rapists. In my boots on the ground journalism, I found out most of the people are just looking for a factory job, fast
Literally.
food job. They're not a murderer. Do you feel like that rhetoric was accurate or a little overblown?
I would say that depends on the area, dude.
Bro.
Because like this area right now,
Come
we
on.
see military-aged males all camoed out, moving up, and
That's crazy.
And those males are all at that ripe gangster age.
The
and
ripe
a lot of them, when we
gangster
jump the groups,
age.
they are gang members. So if you're talking this area, absolutely, he's absolutely right. This is Thugville out here. Man. It's all
Thugville.
gangsters, cartel members, guys that are trying to fly under the radar. You'll have a few good people mixed in with that are really just looking for a better life. The other problem that we saw here in Arizona was a
He's
lot of
saying
these military-aged males,
Thugville.
when they got to the border and got across into the U.S., they immediately discarded their passports, any IDs, anything like that. They got rid of them, burned them, whatever they could do with them. Why the hell are you going to get rid of your ID if you're not up to something nefarious?
That's
So it did
true.
seem sinister.
Yes, absolutely.
Obviously, there's people that cross over that are sinister, but it's not the majority of them.
For like,
You can step away. Easiest way to put it, you're a reservist at that point. As long as all your corners are covered, you turn into a reservist. So if you're needed and you're called up, you better show up.
How dangerous is it for you to even do this interview?
I'm risking a lot doing this. I'll put it that way, I'm risking my life. Let's just say that.
And folks, for all the readers out there, get this book. I got the link in the description. If you want to learn more about real boots on the ground law enforcement experience, I recommend you get it. Links in the description.
Power and legend of the Mexican cartels have long fascinated me, and it's my goal to cover the story in Mexico one day if I can find
Sweet.
the right contacts to do the same. Email me at TommyGMcGee123@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram to reach me if you think this might be you. I also wanted to remind you guys to check out Ground News because I think in this
Alright,
era,
W
it's more
video.
important than ever to be properly informed and aware of what legitimate news might be or whether it's biased propaganda. And finally, let me know in the comments how you think the gun smugglers compare to the military-industrial complex. I appreciate you
Alright,
guys.
so
Thank you for watching,
I'm
and see you
going
next time.
to